chairs are stacked against the wall as the shadows begin to crawl. A single glass of red Bordeaux, watching the evening currents flow. The street lamp flickers in the mist like a ghost that's never been kissed. Oh, Belleville sleeps in shades of gray as the last light withers away. Paris is weeping under her breath, dressed in the velvet robes of death. No more music, no more wine, just the rain on the crooked line. In the city of the endless night. I hear the accordion far away, sighing for a yesterday. The scent of Gauloise on the breeze, moving through the leafless trees. The cobblestones are black and wet, holding the secrets of regret. I pull my collar against the cold in a story that's much too old. The metro gates are locked and tight, swallowed by the hungry night. I'll find my way to the river's edge and stand upon the stone-cold ledge. The water whispers a name I knew back when the world was bright and new. But now there's only the fog and me in the heart of the fleur-de-lis. The tiles are white like cold old bone in a world of hollow steel and stone. The map is faded, the lines are blurred. The final word will not be heard. I wait for a train that never comes, to the rhythm of the iron drums. The air is heavy and tastes of rust, turning the the memories into dust. Oh, the ghost of Saint Michel, ring the chime of a silent bell. Down in the dark where the echoes play, hidden far from the light of day, in the Paris of the endless night. The posters are peeling from the wall, watching the silver shadows fall. A lady in silk with a velvet glove, looking for a long-lost love. The stairs go up to the world above, where the street lights fit like a glove. But I'll stay here where the silence grows, where the cold and lonely river flows. The lights are dimming along the track. There is no road that leads me back. The tunnel is long, the end is far. Underneath the hollow star, I'll wrap my coat around my soul, while the distant iron thunders roll. Just the shadow and the stone. I am finally all alone. Dust in the corner of the room, old letters tied with a black ribbon. I shouldn't touch them, but the ink, it calls. A name I haven't said since 1942, forgotten, like the paint on the walls. The light is yellow, flickering. 1 page, 2 pages, a confession written in the dark. Wait for me at the station. He never came. The rain knew it first, it's still raining now. Secrets are too heavy for the floor. The attic is full, too full of things that never happened. Close the box, blow out the candle. The smell of smoke, it's the only truth left. Silence now. The river is a ribbon of silver flowing underneath the stone. And I am standing on the bridge tonight, completely on my own. The mist is hanging heavy, like a curtain made of gray and blue. And every shadow in the dark reminds me of the ghost of you. The city lights are blurring in the ripples of the moving deep, while all the restless souls of Paris are beginning now to sleep. I watch the water rushing past and wonder where the secrets go when the night is moving silent and the wind begins to blow. The rain is falling softly on the arches of the old Pont Neuf, a melody of lonely hearts that only winter nights can stuff. The stone is cold beneath my hand, the air is thick with old regret. In a city that remembers everything we're trying to forget. is folding down across the arches of the bridge. I see the empty barges drifting slowly, like they're in a dream, reflecting all the lonely lamps within the middle of the stream. There's a comfort in the coldness when the world is washed away in white, and the only thing that matters is the rhythm of the rainy night. I'll stay until the morning comes to turn the silver into gold and keep the stories of the river in the pocket of my coat to hold. No need for words or promises when everything has been misplaced, like a letter in the water with the ink and memory erased. The stars are hidden far away behind the clouds of velvet smoke, as if the very sky above has finally suffered and it broke. But I will walk the path of stone until I find the city's heart, where the endings and beginnings are no longer kept apart. The rain is washing out the tracks of everywhere I used to be, until there's nothing left of me besides the river and the sea. Good night to every bridge and every street that's shining in the wet. The night is long and beautiful, and I am not finished yet. Walking through the gallery where the glass is reflecting the moon, humming to the shadows a very old and a very forgotten tune. The marble is polished and shining beneath the weight of my feet, away from the mud and the noise of the busy and darkened street. I see my reflection in windows of silver and windows of gold, a story of silence that's waiting for someone to finally be told. The air is as clear as a diamond, it's cool and it's perfectly still, as I follow the curve of the hallway according to my own will. Oh, the glass and the light are dancing a waltz in the air, a moment of beauty that's fragile and hauntingly rare. With every step that I'm taking, the world becomes open and wide, with nowhere to run to and nowhere for secrets to hide. In the crystal heart of the Paris night, the mannequins stand in the shadows in dresses of satin and lace, each one with a secret engraved on a cold and emotionless face. I whisper a word to the ceiling and hear it come back like a bell, a story of heaven that's trapped in a beautiful glittering shell. There is no more smoke in the corners, there is no more fog in the way, just the clarity found in the hours before the arrival of day. The rain on the roof is a rhythm that's steady and perfectly blue, and I feel like the glass is a window that I can finally see through. The night is a jewel that's polished and set in a frame made of stone, and for once in my life I am happy to be in the gallery alone. The stars are looking down through the glass like 1,000 of eyes, watching the city of Paris under the wintertime skies. I'll stay in this palace of light till the shadows begin to turn gray, and the magic of midnight is stolen by the arrival of day. So let the piano play on till the very last shimmer is gone, and the glass and the glory before the arrival of dawn. The iron gates are locked, the gravel paths are still, the statues watch the moon against their frozen will. A forgotten glove is lying on a bench of dark green wood, a testament to secrets that were never understood. The fountains have stopped singing, their water is like glass, reflecting every shadow that is allowed to pass. chestnuts, where the night is breathing deep, watching over Paris while the city is asleep. There's a ghost of a sonata drifting through the empty air, and I find myself searching for a ghost who isn't there. The garden is a cathedral with the ceiling made of stars, healing all the memories and all the hidden scars. Let the garden keep its peace before the sun begins to rise and hides the truth of midnight from the weary waking eyes. Just the shadows and the stone, just the garden all alone. The velvet box is open, and the scent of rose is thin. A memory of summer that is trapped and held within. Lavender and jasmine, with a drop of dark regret. A fragrance for a woman that I haven't even met. The glass is cold and heavy, and the liquid is like gold. The secrets of a garden in a bottle small and old. Oh, it's the perfume of the night drifting through the hall, writing ghosts of every flower on the paper on the wall. A scent of lost desire and a hint of winter rain to wash away the sorrow and to dull the quiet pain. just a breath upon the wrist, and the world begins to fade into the violet silence that the evening sun has made. I close my eyes and suddenly I'm walking in the street with the ghosts of old Paris and the dampness in the heat. The stopper is replaced and the box is locked away, but the scent will stay forever till the breaking of the day. The shadows in the corner are inhaling every note, as if the very darkness has a secret in its throat. The amber in the bottle is a sun that never set, a promise of a moment that I haven't finished yet. So let the fragrance linger in the fabric of the air, a memory of someone who was never really there. The candles are all weeping and the wax is on the floor. I'm standing in the silence of the heavy wooden door. The saints are made of plaster and their eyes are wide and blind, watching all the shadows that the people leave behind. A prayer without a hollow and a whisper in the stone. I've never felt so peaceful, and I've never been so alone. Forgive me for the midnight, and forgive me for the blue, for everything I've done and all I'm ever going to do. In the shadow of the altar, where the echoes come to die, underneath the vaulted roof and the winter in the sky. The incense is a curtain that is hanging in the air, a heavy silver blessing for a heart that's beyond repair. I'll leave leave my sins behind me in the corner of the pew, where the dust is settling slowly on the world I used to knew. The organ plays a single note that vibrates in the bone, and I find my way to heaven in the dark and all alone. Stained glass is a window into somewhere I can't go, where the colors of the morning are beginning now to glow. But I will stay in shadow where the coldness is a friend, and wait for every story to have reached its final end. The cross is high and heavy, and the stone is very deep, while the tired heart of Paris is beginning now to sleep. Walking on the slates where the silver moonlight falls, high above the city and the heavy limestone walls. A balance on the edge of the chimney and the sky, watching all the people as they're passing slowly by. Soft paws on the metal and a tail against the stars, looking down at lanterns and the windows of the bars. Oh, it's a promenade of shadows, a dance upon the tiles, above the weary boulevards and the long and lonely miles. The king of all the rooftops, with a coat of velvet black, following the silver path and never looking back. The city is a playground for the lonely and the sleep, in a world where only shadows are allowed to truly speak. From Montmartre to the river, it's a kingdom made of slate, where the lucky ones are sleeping and the others have to wait. I'll curl up in the chimney heat and watch the world go gray before the sun arrives to take the magic all away. see the mice in alleys and the lovers in the park. Each one has a secret that is glowing in the dark. But I prefer the silence and the coldness of the roof of every dream in Paris. I am the only living proof. So let the moon keep shining on my coat of midnight fur, while the city of the sleepers is beginning now to stir. Checkmate in the shadows, and the king is made of wood. I'd change the final movement if I only knew I could. Knight to Queen's Pavilion, and a sacrifice of grace, while the rain is washing features from a stone and marble face. Square by square, we're moving through the black and through the white, playing out the drama in the middle of the night. The game is never over, and the board is never clear. Moving through the silence and the shadows of the year. Each piece is a memory, each move is a mistake, in the lonely little garden by the middle of the lake. The bishops and the castles are all frozen in their places, underneath the arches with the dark and empty spaces. The clock is ticking steady, but the game is far from through. I'm waiting for the silence to make its final move on you. A wooden heart is beating in the pocket of my coat, with a message for the winner that I never even wrote. Pawns are falling quietly like leaves upon the grass, watching all the ghosts of kings and emperors as they pass. There is no gold or glory in the center of the square, only empty benches and the cold and winter air. I'll fold my hands and wait for the arrival of the sun, when the game is finally over and the midnight has been won. The board is getting dusty and the moon is getting low. There's nowhere left for any of the wooden men to go. I'll leave the pieces standing in the patterns of the rain, to play another century of pleasure and of pain. The square is wide and hollow, and the night is very deep, while the city of the players is beginning now to sleep. very slowly on the slates where the silver moonlight falls, high above the sleeping city and the heavy limestone walls. A balance on the razor edge of the chimney and the sky, watching all the weary people as they're passing slowly by. Soft paws on the cold metal and a tail against the stars, looking down at golden lanterns and the windows of the bars. The city is a playground for the lonely and the very sleek, in a world where only shadows are allowed to truly speak. From the hill of old Montmartre down to the rushing river Seine, it's a kingdom made of heavy slate and memories of rain, where the lucky ones are dreaming in their warm and quiet beds, while the ghosts of all the poets wander deep inside their heads. I see the mice in every alley and the lovers in the dark. Each one has a tiny secret that is glowing like a spark. But I prefer the coldness and the silence of the high gray roof of every dream in Paris. I am the only living proof. The tiles are smooth and slippery like the surface of a lake, waiting for the morning and the heavy world to wake. There's a comfort in the distance from the noise upon the ground, where the only thing that matters is the silence I have found. The gargoyles are my brothers, and the moon is like a queen, ruling over everything that stays hidden and unseen. I'll stretch my silver shadow out across the ancient stone, the master of the heights and yet completely all alone. So let the moon keep shining on my coat of midnight fur, while the city of the sleepers is beginning now to stir. I'll curl up in the chimney heat and watch the world turn gray before the sun arrives to take the magic all away. Goodbye to all the chimneys and the attic windows too. The night is almost over, and there's nothing left to do. The iron footbridge is a shadow in the heavy rolling mist, a place of secret meetings and a love that don't exist. The green and stagnant water of the deep and dark canal is reflecting every window and every stone and every wall. I watch the ripples moving where the sunken treasures lie, underneath the heavy blankets of the gray and winter sky. The locks are closed and silent, and the barges are at rest, like a row of heavy giants with a secret in their chest. I hear the water dripping from the moss upon the stone, a cold and rhythmic music that I'm listening to alone. There is no light from Montmartre and no light from anywhere, only the smell of dampness in the thick and foggy air. I found a rusted key tonight beside the water's edge, and I threw it in the middle from the center of the ledge. Let it sink into the darkness where the other secrets go, where the currents of the river are incredibly and truly slow. I don't need to open doors that have been closed for 20 years in a city that is made of stone and memories and tears. The trees are leafless skeletons that reach into the white, searching for a single star within the middle of the night. But the fog is like a curtain that will never let them through, hidden from the world I saw and everything I ever knew. I'll walk along the water till the path begins to end, where the canal and the river finally meet and finally bend. The lamps are glowing faintly like a row of dying stars, far away from all the noise and all the music in the bars. It's a lullaby of water and a lullaby of gray, washing all the fragments of the heavy world away. Good night to the canal and to the bridges made of steel, in a night where only shadows are allowed to truly feel. is made of silver, and the hands are made of gold, counting every second of the stories that were told. I am sitting in the attic while the city falls away, watching the fragments of a heavy day. One by one, the lights are dying on the streets of old Paris, like the fading of a memory that was never meant for me. The pendulum is swinging like a ghost across the wall, measuring the shadows as they fall. The spring is wound so tightly, it is almost like a heart, ready at any moment to be pulled and torn apart. The moon has reached the window, looking at a broken place. The accordion is sighing like a lover in the gloom. It's the soul of every boulevard and every small cafe, a ghost of all the music that we used to hear by day. So quiet now, the gears are still, in a world that has no use for any more of time. Good night, my Paris. The blue is turning gray.